Welcome to Now, I'm your host, Curtis Parody, bringing you the news happening in the world right now. We start today's show off with some fun music news. A single track from the new Daft Punk album has been released online, and well, it's pretty awesome. The track called Get Lucky was released last night on iTunes, and it's already reached the top of the iTunes music charts. The song to me is a little different than their traditional sound, but hey, I enjoy it. If you want to check out the song for yourself, you can find it, of course, on iTunes, or hey, YouTube's a great place to find songs these days. I've thrown a link to a YouTube video featuring the song in the description below. The full Random Access Memories album will be available on May 21st, and you can pre-order it right now on iTunes if you wish, or of course you could wait till it finds its way online to get it that way. From music to movies, and since today's Friday, the day new movies traditionally hit the big screen, let's talk about the new trailer for Star Trek Into the Darkness. The third official trailer has hit the web, and wow! Every time I see a new trailer for this film, I get more and more excited about its release. The new trailer shows off more of the main villain and part of the battle that Kirk and himself will have. Overall, the film looks like it will be just as visually stunning as the last and contain the same amount of high-paced action to keep you right at the edge of your seat. Star Trek Into the Darkness will be hitting the big screen in just under a month on May 17th. Next, from movies and entertainment, let's talk about Apple. This is around the time of the year where more and more Apple news starts popping up online, but to clarify, there's not really a lot of news this year. It's kind of quiet. Nothing big has sprung up yet. One small but interesting piece of news about the company has been released recently, talking about Siri and how Apple actually holds on to the requests that users send into them. If you're somehow unaware how Siri actually works, basically it records your voice, then sends that file to Apple. Apple then processes it and then sends a request back to the phone to tell the phone what to do. It's pretty fascinating if you think about it, but the question arises, what happens to that voice file after it's been analyzed? Well, information about that was released today, and well, Apple keeps it. Yes, so every time you ask Siri something stupid, well, Apple keeps that information. So Apple keeps the recording, but it doesn't actually link it back to you, the person. The file's given a random number not associated with the user who actually created it. Then that file stays for about 6 months inside of Apple's main computer systems. After that 6 months, the number is actually taken off of the file, so it removes it and separates it. And then Apple stores that just audio file for another 18 months. So it's a little confusing, I get that, but of course the question again arises, what on earth does Apple want with these strange Siri requests that we're sending in? Well, it's surprisingly simple. Apple actually uses these to test out and improve Siri for the future. Apple can analyze our speech patterns and find out what we're asking Siri and how we're doing it. This allows them to add new features to Siri in the future. So though Apple is using the recordings for good, they are still storing them. So next time you tell Siri something that you don't want leaked online, well, maybe you shouldn't be talking to Siri at all. From Apple to Google, it looks like Google is working to build out its fiber optic network even more across America. Google recently announced that it would be building a new fiber optic network in Austin, Texas, but now they've also announced that they'll be building one in Prova, Utah. Prova? I don't even know how it's pronounced. So why on earth would Google want to build a network in Prova, Utah? The population is just over 100,000 people. It's not the biggest place in the world to invest in such a huge project. Well, it's kind of funny actually. The reason Google is going to be expanding their fiber optic network there is because, well, it's already there. Google has announced that it will be purchasing the already existing fiber optic network in the city and will work to build it out for the future. So what could be the price of this whole acquisition? Because the network itself cost $39 million to build. Well, Google's purchasing it for a staggering $1. Yes, that's right, $1 for a multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art fiber optic internet system. Because that makes sense, but of course it appears that the city is taking a little bit of a gamble on the fact that Google will build up the network to something that they could probably never do. But if things don't go well for Google, the city is able to actually buy the network back from them for a grand total of $1. It's an interesting way to entice Google to come and build a network in your city because, well, of course, the network's already there. Google just has to slap its name on it. And the last thing I want to touch on today is NASA and space. Because space is so freaking awesome and NASA wants everyone to become a part of it, well, they're hosting a 6-hour live stream today while 2 Russian cosmonauts are doing a spacewalk outside of the ISS. By the time that this episode of Now makes it onto YouTube, though, the spacewalk might be over, but of course you can just head over to Ustream and check it out if you would like there. So this topic makes me wonder, given the chance to visit the International Space Station, would you take it? Tell me in the comment section below, or of course, you can always let me know on my Facebook page, through Twitter, or on Google+. Links to all that and the other topics I talked about in today's episode in the description below, along with the always amazing subscribe button. So until next time, I'm Curtis Parody, and that's what's happening now.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. You can of course check out more videos that I create by clicking on them below. Check out Now for the latest news happening in the world right now, Paradise Gaming for some fun gameplay videos, or of course my personal vlog channel to see what I'm doing outside of my studio. Also, if you're interested in supporting the show and getting some new clothes for yourself, just like this shirt, you can pick up this one if you want. Check out the store at thecurtisparadystore.ca. Bye everyone.